This is an addition to my Capture Mission Racing tier list, DriftFrame. If you haven't seen that, it's linked below. Behold! I think Gauss is in B tier. I know, literally the speed frame, but Gauss is designed to feel fast, not necessarily to be fast, which makes way more sense for normal Warframe gameplay where you're often in a confined space and working on an objective. Wukong isn't designed to be fast at all, but he is. DriftFrame is not normal Warframe. Gauss is awesome and he's smartly designed to make you feel fast in normal gameplay, but we're explicitly talking about racing and how fast Gauss actually is. Gauss isn't all that fast because he doesn't have a speed buff. His Mach Rush is quite fast, but there's no way to make it any faster. How far you go isn't affected by any stats. Redline also doesn't include a speed buff. It buffs how fast you do everything except move. On the other hand, what Gauss does have is the highest base sprint speed in the game by a lot, and that does matter quite a bit. Here you can see Gauss's passive movement speed with just sprint speed mods and a bit of friction reduction, as well as amalgam serration, and you can see this is pretty fast for passive movement speed. This is about the same as Korra with her strength increased buff from Venari, and Gauss can match that speed. Obviously having a dash puts him squarely ahead, that's quite strong. I still don't think he's anywhere near as fast as, say, Saren, Volt, Zephyr, and his fancy siblings in Manhattan, S tier, but he's still pretty fast, and he does have a few other benefits. Kinetic plating is valuable because it negates staggers and knockdowns, and has a very long duration, so most of the time you can just use this and you'll be immune to staggers and knockdowns for the entire race. Redline also has very generous base duration, so you can use it to help you dispatch the capture target. There aren't a lot of good racing frames that also have a relevant combat buff, and we're talking about a huge amount of fire rate here, 150% if it's maxed out. Another nice thing about Gauss is that because he doesn't really get faster from strength, you have a lot of free space in your build. You can run an insane amount of efficiency and duration and just never have to worry about running out of energy, which can help you win on longer tracks. Arcane Phantasm also makes more of a difference than usual, since Gauss's base sprint speed is so high and he lacks a normal speed buff. And speaking of speed buffs, 2.75 sprint speed, Gauss is absurdly fast if he gets a Volt speed buff, or he can stay near a Zephyr. You can't rely on that, of course, but I do think he makes a good counter to Volt if he can stay on top of the Volt for a solid 15 seconds or so to force the Volt to recast speed or have both of you fall behind. Yeah, you can't counterpick with my current rules. Maybe we should add a pick ban phase to DriftFrame. Anyway, I don't want to undersell Mach Rush. This isn't the fastest you can go in Warframe, but it is still pretty fast, and on straights, this is very powerful. Another really powerful thing that Mach Rush can do is air strafe. So if you're in the air and you want to change direction really quickly, so we'll say we'll bullet jump, and now I'm going this way, I can just go like that and change my direction very, very quickly, which is valuable. That is a useful thing to be able to do. You can do it multiple times while in the air and sort of zoom around like that. You do fall slowly, but not too slowly, so you're still not going to be able to stay up there forever. It's not quite like Zephyr, but that is a valuable thing Zephyr can do, and Zephyr's dash is much more punishing if you go the way you don't want to, whereas with Gauss you can fluidly cancel it with pretty much anything and just freely move around, which is awesome. Maybe even better is the fact that Mach Rush can animation cancel pretty much anything in the game, so if you would be stuck in an animation or something from any effect, but I'm going to be talking about melee slams, you can use Mach Rush to cancel that, and Mach Rush itself can also be canceled into pretty much anything. So this is a quality that, Gauss has been out for 20 hours, so you gotta understand, I don't know the full potential of this, but it is a powerful thing to be able to do. Just to give you an example, we could directional slam down, cancel it with Mach Rush, directional slam, cancel, and if we were moving down a complicated downward slope that had a lot of different terrain, Gauss would be able to navigate that expertly, probably a lot better than any other frame in the game, because he can change direction in midair while going downward very quickly, and also moving laterally very quickly, in a way that other frames cannot. I cannot think of anyone else who can do that in the same way. So that is a powerful thing. And again, just being able to fluidly jump out of your dash and then keep going, that is a thing that is powerful. Like, it's not perfect. Obviously, there are a lot of tight corridors in Warframe. I don't like to show stuff in the open worlds because it gives you the idea that the frame is going to be way faster than they are. This is why we don't race in the open world, because there's no terrain and there's no point. But the fact of the matter is, this is still a powerful thing to be able to do, so it's exciting, and I do think that playing around with that animation canceling is going to be Gauss's strongest asset. As I do at the end of all DriftFrame videos, I'm now going to talk about our next scheduled race. We just talked about this awesome speed frame we got, obviously what we want to do is race with him. So our next race is going to be this Sunday, so if you're from the future, that's August 1st, 2019 at 1500 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on my Twitch channel that's linked below. And we'll get to see how Gauss performs in real races. Maybe I'll end up being wrong and he'll be really crazy good. He won't be awful because he does have that baseline level of passive sprint speed, and that part is just math. He is mathematically in B tier, but maybe his animation canceling, air strafing, straight running shenanigans will be stronger than I think they are, and he'll be in A tier. Who knows? We'll have to see. Prepare your racing builds, keeping in mind that Nova and Wukong are banned, and I'll catch you there.